Hey, how is everyone doing? It has certainly been quite a while since we've gone back to doing live streaming. I don't even remember when the last live stream was. But granted, my brain is not really thinking on full power right now. I haven't been doing that much today. And I haven't been drinking that much caffeine because I'm trying to slowly wean off of it. If you have caffeine, like every single day for your whole life, you get addicted to it, and that causes bad things. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Am I coming through okay? Live streaming still works. I'm using a different browser now, so I had to transfer everything from my old to my new. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Everyone's typing in the chat. Good to see you guys having fun out there. Laggy, is it? Nah, that sucks. Part of it might also be my internet. It hasn't been doing. The internet has been a little bit wonky lately, but I guess that's what happens whenever you have some bad weather, It's just like been snowing nonstop over here. And yeah, the internet has gone out a few times, but overall it seems to be staying connected, so that's nice. Got my copy of Oak Girl. Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, most of you should have gotten your copies by now, but I'm sure there are still some, being sent from post office to post office, and I still have a few more books that haven't been sent out yet. But for the most part, they're all sent out. I've got just two stack left. One more trip to the post office, and that'll be taken care of. Hey, yeah, it's good. It's good to hear that people are getting their copies of the comic. I'm sorry. I really thought I'd be able to snap myself back into awake mode as soon as the stream started. I'm an idiot. But that's the thing about streaming. Usually it gets me to talk because I'm being forced to talk. And I just assume because I'm being forced to talk, it'll make me more awake and make my brain start functioning. And it's not super working right now. Oh, fuck today, man. Yeah, I'm past 30 seconds. I can curse now. I'm tranked. It's true. How do you like Mines? I mean, I've been on Mines for years now, and I said right off the bat that I thought it was fine. And the only problem with Mines when I started using it was that there wasn't a lot of people on there. But I liked Mines fine. Obviously, it needs more updates, but it needs to have more people on there for them to, put money into it, because nobody's gonna put money into it if nobody uses it. It wouldn't be worth the investment. It's the same thing with everything, though. Long day? I fucking wish. I didn't do shit today. I did itty bitty tiny things. Ugh, I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Anyway, it's probably just that I haven't been able to do that much. Sometimes when you just don't do that much, you're not moving around, you're not getting any energy at all. And honestly, a lot of work I have to do is on the computer. So I've had to space out a lot of my work because my entire right arm has kind of been in constant pain lately. And yeah, using the computer also hurts, even though it's just simple things like pressing buttons and using the trackpad. Simple things, but yet it causes my entire arm to be on fire. So we've gotten to that point. You know, that's what happens when you can't go to the doctor for a year and still can't really go to the doctor because nothing's actually gotten any better. Woo! It'd be nice to be able to do something. uh, so, I guess a few things have happened. I questioned if I was going to make a video about the whole Gina Carano thing. But even though that's a very interesting story, I don't know if I want to really get into covering Star Wars stuff. I just gotta level with you guys. I'm not that interested in Star Wars. I've made Star Wars videos in the past, but I'm always just kind of like very casual about it because I don't actually care. Like, you'll never catch me being passionately upset about something Star Wars related because I'm just not that passionate about it. But the funny thing is, I mean, they were looking for a reason to kick her off, right? Because they don't like her politics. And she like made an Instagram post that's like very mild. Everyone pretended to be super offended over it, and she gets insta-fired. But like, what's worse is that her acting agency also drops her. And then it's like almost instantaneously afterwards, you hear that she is getting some sort of movie produced with Daily Wire. It's like, man, the news on this girl updates every 2 seconds. There's a lot happening with that whole controversy, you know, in quotes, controversy. But yeah, and the weird thing is, not too long after they fired Gina, they fired Pedro, right? Pedro Pascal, is that his name? I think I heard somewhere that they fired him. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. Should I be looking for it? Maybe not. But like, people were mentioning obviously the double standard because he's made some spicy posts himself. And if the idea is that they were actually firing Gina for her politics, then maybe the reason why they would fire somebody who leans the other way politically afterward is to kind of prevent her case for a lawsuit, because you can 100% sue for political discrimination, especially if it not only affects your one job, but if it affects your ability to get more jobs. That would be a big suit. So maybe they just took a hit by taking out Pedro. That is, if they actually did fire Pascal, like I heard. But it could just be like someone with bad information who told me that, you know? But anyway, that's a thing that happened, right? Anyone's got thoughts on that? Oh, what a weird few events that's happening. I don't know what they're gonna do with the show. What are you guys having separate conversations in if he has time to do The Last of Us? Oh yeah, I also heard they were doing a Last of Us movie. That's dumb. I mean, The Last of Us video games are a movie. You know, I don't know. It's just like an interactive movie, basically. Anyway, yeah, I think that's a good comment. I think it's funny they tried to cancel Gina for being anti-Jewish and a Jewish man hired her. That is pretty funny. Very true. Very true. Less of a show. Okay, so it's not going to be a movie. It's going to be a TV show. I'm still not interested, though. The Last of Us video games are basically just interactive movies. What are you going to add to it? Anyway. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't really do Disney anymore. You know, money can be spent other places, and they're not producing very good stuff anyway. I mean, it's just how it is, man. All the good Disney stuff is the older stuff, and you don't even have to give money directly to the company because to get that older stuff, because you can just buy from people reselling. So it's like you can own all of the older Disney stuff physically, and you don't even need Disney Plus. And then, like, what else? What else do you need Disney for? What do they provide to the table? Legitimately, I went to Disney World. Was it last year or the year before? I don't know. All the days and years blend together. But me and Adam went to Disney World, and we were kind of disappointed at all the shit they were taking out and reskinning, and there were all these events that Adam wanted me to like do with him that they just didn't have anymore because they're cutting back. And then they're trying to like put in an ESPN center. It's like, why? Why? Who wanted an ESPN center in Disney World? It's bizarre. They're making very bizarre decisions. And the guy who was making those bizarre decisions in the park is now the CEO. So I don't see it going uphill anytime soon. Isn't Mickey Mouse supposed to go in the public domain sometime also? It's like 2023. Mickey Mouse is supposedly going back in the public domain. You know what Disney's going to do, though? They're going to once again lobby and get that increased so that they can keep them for 50 more years. I don't know. I don't know, man. Disney has no soul. It's very sad because I'm a huge Walt Disney fan, but when it comes to the company, I'm just disappointed. It's like a mother and their child when they catch them spray painting the side of a house. It's like, I'm just disappointed. But yeah, assuming Mickey Mouse goes in the public domain, I'm so using Mickey Mouse. You bet I'm using some fucking Mickey Mouse in my comics. I'm just gonna shove them in there. We'll make it work. Felix the Cat is in public domain, but not Mickey. I heard someone say that Oswald was in public domain, but I don't think that's actually true. Oswald the Rabbit, I don't think that's actually true because Disney acquired them in 2010. It wouldn't make, I don't know. What movies they made were stiff in public domain. Yeah, it's very ironic that they would then prevent their own properties from going into public domain. Oh, hey, thank you for the $20 donation. Asa dude. A fantastic message to share with us all. Yeah. Besides Disney, what else can American people watch and visit? Universal. I mean, there are other independent movies being made as well. There's not like, we don't have to just jump to one different studio. There's a lot of other studios out there that Disney does not own yet. I imagine that if they did try to own all of them, there would be some legal problems. Although I'm really surprised there wasn't any legal problems with them buying out Fox. I don't know how that deal went through, but they own the courts. Oh yeah, Nintendo World at Universal was pretty cool. I gotta admit, they need to add more to it though. It's too small. They do have, I mean, they do have this one section blocked off where I assume that's going to lead to more rides and stuff. But it does look super cool. I would fucking love to go Mario Kart racing with my boyfriend there, but he won't go to Universal. I kept on telling him I want to go to Universal eventually someday. He's like, I don't want to go to Universal. If I'm gonna go all the way down to Florida, I rather would just go to Disney World where all the nostalgia is. And soon all that nostalgia will be gone. So maybe I can get him to change his mind once Disney World gets completely reskinned and ruined, which I'm sure it will, because last time we went there, it was not super impressive. Especially the new Toy Story Land. They fucked that one up hard. There was no shade. There was no like clear path to travel on. Everyone was bumping into each other. All the rides were like so compressed that was awful. I'm surprised they didn't get fired. I'm surprised they didn't fire anyone over that. Thank you, Matthew, for your donation. What Disney character would you like to work on? Little Mermaid? What Disney character would I like to work on? I don't understand the question. What Disney character would I like to write a story with? Or would I like to make a sequel with? Because I really wouldn't make sequels with any of the Disney princesses. I'm not super into sequels per se. Some stories are made for sequels, but fairy tales really are really just contained stories, you know? It's just one of those things. Thank you for your $2 donation, Maji. Hail! Glad to finally catch a live with you. Oh, well, good to have you join. I do usually live around like 6 Eastern Standard, sometimes 6:30. I don't know why, though. I get so tired by the end of the day. Why do I pick this time? It's terrible. I need to change this up sometime. Maybe at some point I should start like streaming more so in like at 12 or 1. I don't know. But people still buy Disney products, of course. Of course. But you know. Make a history where the princesses are devils. Yeah, sounds great. I would make a story on Ursula Maleficent style. You know, I never saw the movie Maleficent, but I heard what it was about. And wow. Like I heard all the changes and stuff, and it's just wow. Yep. My favorite One Piece arc? Do movies count? It might be Nami's arc. What was that? Windmill Village, I think. Her arc was simple, but I enjoyed it. I also liked Skypiea. Skypiea was good. Oh, I'm also not really updated on the manga anymore. I used to be, but I've dropped out of it. I've been trying to like take in a lot of new stuff recently, and the more new stuff I read, the more old stuff I have to stop reading to make time. So it is a little bit sad, but also, fuck, One Piece did not have to go on for that long. They chose to go on for that long, and I just don't have the time to dedicate to all of it, you know? Maybe I could catch up on. No, I can't even catch up on the anime because the anime drags things out even more than manga. It would actually be faster for me to read the manga because I'm a fast reader. So it's brutal. It's fucking brutal. I mean, I don't have a lot of time. Anyway, One Piece art style turns me off. Yeah, I mean, it turns off a lot of people. There's a lot of older styles of anime that would turn off people today because, I mean, styles definitely change as you go through generation to generation. But I mean, if you look back and look at 80s anime, which is its own style, and then 2000s anime, and then today's anime, it's all like, it all gets very different, a lot smoother, a lot, I don't know. That also depends on like which anime you're watching and what the budget is. But for the most part, they try to keep to a similar style for most things. 80s animes are wild. Oh, of course. Have you watched WandaVision? No. Now, somebody was messaging me before, like, oh my god, WandaVision is so good. And I can only assume it's because something in the show happened recently that made them want to talk about it. But I kind of fell out of love with the MCU. I don't feel like watching them anymore. It's just exhausting. I know, shocking. Hey, thank you, George, for your donation. You've been to neurologist, surgeon dudes, ladies, right? Should I begin an international search for some of the best? We've a lot invested in that right hand. Thank you. But no, I haven't been able to see a doctor because of the whole pandemic thing. I mean, I think they let you do over the video chat. They do the video chat doctor things, but I don't really think I'm gonna get anywhere with video chat. I think I might need like in-person shots or something, because if it is carpal tunnel, there's a bunch of different ways to treat that, and some of those ways it's got to be like physical. If it is carpal tunnel, I don't know. It's just been building up for years and years, and it's just gotten progressively worse. Like I said, it started in my wrist. I started feeling it in my elbow. Now I'm starting to feel it in my shoulder. It's everywhere. It just spreads like cancer, and I don't know what to do about it. And thank you for your $2 donation. When is the next comic? Good question. Do you mean the sequel from the last comic, or just the next comic in general? I am working on a few things now. Obviously, I'm working on Sonic Witch, and originally I was thinking I was going to campaign for that. But I was also thinking, what if instead of campaigning for a big graphic novel, I divide them into separate issues and start selling them like issue by issue on the website, so that I can kind of get money to invest in actually creating the whole book before I campaign to print it. You know what I mean? Because if you're dividing a full story into issues, you can get money as you're still working on it. That's the idea anyway. But, that's the idea. And I was also working on this new thing. It's not a comic per se. It's kind of like an art book, but a unique art book. I'm calling it the unfinished art book because it's an art book that basically contains like a bunch of my unfinished projects with stuff that I've personally drawn and concept art and, ideas. Well, mostly concept art because it is an art book, but also with commentary explaining what you're looking at. Because I do have a lot of projects that just are unfinished and might remain unfinished for the rest of my life, especially if I die young. So that was kind of morbid, but The point being that I thought it would be fun to showcase some of that art and some of those ideas rather than let them all go to waste and never be seen again. So I'm working on putting that together, and hopefully I can put that up on the site. That would be pretty interesting. See how people like that. Maybe I'll even get some other friend artists together and they can make their own unfinished art books. We can have a whole line, whole line of unfinished art books. All the sad artists who never completed their projects. Your boy Zach is on the struggle bus. What does that mean? Is he having some issues? I haven't been watching his latest vids, I'll be honest. So I don't know what would be personally going on with him. I haven't really been watching a lot of people on YouTube lately. I've mostly just been watching silly videos and chillaxing on the couch while I have a heating pad on my arm. Team up with an artist to get your stuff done. Oh, I've teamed up with tons of artists. Yeah. But you know, that also requires money. And I'm broke and I live with my parents. So, you know, I gotta get stuff actually done to get projects out there to sell. And, you know, even making videos is tough, not just for motivation or happiness, but, you know, that as well, but also because it requires all this editing. And a lot of people on YouTube don't edit their videos. They can get them up a lot faster. They can get multiple videos a day. But I feel like I really need that editing to make my videos actually good. I just don't think I'm a good YouTuber unless I'm edited. You know, but I don't know. And, you know, that also requires having a functioning arm to do the editing, which I also need breaks for so that I can keep it functioning. And I also want to draw, and I have to draw. Even when I have another artist on a comic, I'm still drawing out the pages that they can use for a reference. It's all complicated stuff. There's no easy answer for anything, really. It's tough. Thank you for your $5 donation. I have a friend who makes some money on DVDs even now. He makes money because he keeps inventory, so please keep small inventory of all your product. Will do. And thank you for your $5, Maverick. Sorry I'm late, but Pedro Pascal wasn't fired, which was kind of the point in bringing up the double standard. Oh, of course. Of course. Well, even if he was fired now, it wouldn't matter. Those posts that, you know, caused him to be hated are posts that were up for a very long time. And nobody said, and nobody gave him the boot, you know? But yeah, I mean, it certainly won't help their case if they do get sued for discrimination. But yeah, no. Learn how to do stuff with your other hand. Well, my other hand, I try doing stuff with my other hand as well, and then my other hand starts hurting. It's a vicious cycle. But also, my other hand is retarded, so I say that in the most polite sense possible, of course. But yeah, my other hand is not good at doing things. I never really quite learned motor control with my left hand. I'm right-handed, in case you couldn't tell. How are you today? I'm doing okay. I'm tired. I haven't done too much. Like I said, I worked on my unfinished art book. You hear how I always stutter and fuck up my words, right? I swear there is something wrong with my brain. Probably. I'm probably a little bit dyslexic because I've definitely said the wrong word while thinking of a different word enough times that if I had a nickel for each time, I'd be fucking rich. But I don't know. It's especially difficult when you record videos and you don't realize that you messed up. But then when you go back and edit the videos, which is the joy of editing, you get to see how many times you messed up. And you're like, well, fuck, I don't want to re-record this thing. So you just cut it out of the video entirely. And then nobody ever knows what you were going to say. It's just kept a little secret. Ow, I actually hurt my arm by bending it. I am a fool. If given the chance, would you sacrifice your arm for robot arms? Meaning, would I like cut off my arms for robot arms? You know, I would have to see how good those robot arms were. But if they can make me draw, well, fuck yeah, fuck these arms. Get them off of me. I'll do all the work. I will type at the greatest of speeds. None shall surpass me. All right, I'm seeing a lot of very different comments. Should do a Bob Ross tutorial. Oh yeah, I would paint the best of paintings. I need those robot arms first though. Otherwise, I'll do some pretty fucking sick finger paints for you. My mom was doing acrylic pours on these tiles. That is the extent of her artistic ability. Pouring paint on a tile? Oh, she can pour that paint. Some iRobot arms. Yeah, legit. And you have to deal with app updates on my arms. Oh, fuck no. Please tell me these aren't Google sponsored arms. I'll be totally fucked. Of all your written work, what is your favorite to date? My favorite to date of all the stuff that I've written is not even out. It's not even for sale currently. It has never been published, self or otherwise. It's just sitting on my laptop waiting to be finished, like most things. But, you know, that's why you gotta publish the unfinished art book, so that people can know that you were going to make something good. It just couldn't be made. You can get crazy views for videos of pouring paint on canvas. I picked the wrong choice of YouTube videos. Damn. Should have gone into the acrylic pour section of YouTube. That's where all the money's at. Holding out on the good stuff. Well, it's more so like a lot of stuff that I've done for specific reasons. It's like Ellie the Eliminator I did because I knew that I could draw easy, simple cartoons and get that done fast and easy. Yeah, that's the point. And Oh Girl I did because of another advice. I don't know whether or not it was bad advice or good advice. I guess time will tell. But yeah, I never really started on projects that I was doing because I was super passionate about it. I was mostly trying to be smart about it, smart about which I'm doing first and what I could do first. But you know, even stuff that I'm like super duper passionate about and I'm like excited to get it out there and get it done, eventually the passion starts to die out because I have a very anxious personality where the passion only lasts for a certain amount of time, and then after a while I get burnt out on working on it, and I want to work on something else, and easily I'll get inspired for a different project before it'll even be finished. It happens all the time, and it's brutal, especially when you have to wait on other people to get your project finished. That is brutal. It's brutal. So even if I'm in love with a project that I'm working on, eventually I'll probably want to work on something else, and then the project might not be finished. Sorry, let me read this comment so that it can stop distracting me. Another one from George. Thank you. F these arms. Ha, okay. So it's crystal clear, cut and dry. You need partnership and or at least like-minded assistance to aid you, please. This is violin level sad. I mean, robot arms. That's a pretty good trade for like arms that don't work for robot arms. Robot arms are way better than normal arms. Sounds like my mom just got home. I don't think she knew I was going to be streaming down here, or else she would have entered through the above door rather than the basement door. But it's okay. Thank you for the $2. Do you ever watch the Jack Show? No. What's the Jack Show? Should I know this? Such a simple name. The Jack Show. Jack Trent Stockton Track. Oh, it's a TV series. For a second I assumed, or is it that Jack Show? There's two Jack shows. Which one are you talking about? Is it the Jack Show TV series or the Jack Show YouTube channel, also known as That Jack Show? You see, that's the problem when you get simple names for shows. Okay, you're referring to the YouTube shows. Yeah, that's the problem when you get simple names for shows, because then it's just all the different Jacks are calling their show the Jack Show. Hi, DaNnphann, just tuned in. Sorry to hear your arm is injured. Oh, injured. I just need to fight through the pain. Once I get those needles in, it's going to be smooth sailing. I'm going to need a lot of needles. All the needles in my arm. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like I had wrist pains before. And then I thought to myself, oh, well, I don't really need to go to the doctor now because it's not that bad. And then time goes by and it's like, okay, eventually I need to go to the doctor. But I have time. And then time goes by and then there's a pandemic and now you can't go to the doctor. And it's so bad that like almost every day you can't move your arm. It's one of those things. But a lot of Americans take for granted the fact that they can just walk into a doctor's office and get an appointment that day. And then when you can't walk into a doctor's office and get an appointment, it sucks. I now understand what other countries must feel like when they can't do that. But, what happened to your arm? I assume some kind of carpal tunnel. It's pretty normal among artists and I guess people who do all their work on computer laptops to get some carpal tunnel or arthritis up in there. My mom keeps saying, oh, that's arthritis. And I'm looking at her like, don't I seem a bit young for arthritis? I'm pretty sure that is an old thing. Ugh. My arm is just bad. Yes. Have you tried hot and cold therapy? Well, I've certainly tried heating pad. I mean, I put a heating pad on my arm and I just kind of lay it flat for a while. I mean, eventually, the heat is not hot anymore, but it lasts for at least maybe 20 or 30 minutes. And, so I do that. And I also have this cream that numbs the nerves that I've been using, but I don't think it's necessarily safe to keep on using it because it is chemicals that cause you to be numb. Like it just makes your skin feel numb, like you had a shot. And I can't imagine that would be super healthy to use consistently on your arm. So I'm trying not to use that all the time. But it does help. It helps when you can't feel, The pain doesn't exist when you stop being able to feel. But, yeah, it's a bad thing. You need to break the cycle of inflammation. Yeah. I'll try doing that. Well, that's the thing. I don't even know what's necessarily causing it, where the pain comes from. You go on to DuckDuckGo, search blah, 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 and you get all these different answers, what it could be, but you don't really know what it is. At the end of the day, you just got to go to a doctor and have them tell you what to do, and then sue them when they misdiagnose you. That's what you got to do. It's just, that's how you do it. Any TV show or anime recommendations? You watched Redo Healer. I told her not to. Yeah, that was wild. No, I mean, I've seen quite a few anime last year. There were quite a few that I enjoyed. I don't want to get into those long series, though. I'm not ready to hop on to a long anime series, so I've mostly been doing slice of life stuff, easy consumable stuff that will have an ending without waiting hundreds and hundreds of episodes to get to. That's the type of stuff I've been watching, and that stuff has been good. Although I did fall and prey to another series without knowing that it was going to be a longer series. I don't regret it, though. It's pretty good. And I am actually fully updated on the manga. Can't say the same for One Piece, but that's what happens when you pick up new stuff. You fall out with the old stuff. And boy, did I fall. Thank you for another $2 donation. The Jack Show is a Comicsgate YouTube show. Gotcha. So they just get a bunch of people on for a stream. Hopefully it is interesting. Because let me tell you, there are a lot of people who just think that if they have a bunch of people who are funny on their own get together, they'll be funny together. But sometimes that is not the case, especially if those people don't know each other. You gotta be able to bounce off each other to really make it work. And I've been on a lot of other people's channels where they just assume me to be very talkative, and I'm just not that person. You see, you hear me talking often on my YouTube channel, but that's because no one else is going to talk. You're only going to strictly hear from me on my YouTube channel. I'm not necessarily good at bouncing back and forth with people. I'm not a very talkative person when it comes to real life conversation. So, I guess I didn't have to go into that tangent, but it just reminded me that a lot of people have trouble being funny with other people. Who is my favorite JoJo? Well, obviously, I love Joseph. I've always loved Joseph. Of course. He's the best. Best JoJo. All the way. Oh my God. It's Anna, Ethan, Cecil, Kelsey, and John. Those are a lot of people. They're all on at once, or they switch in between, or do they tag in and out? Oh, yeah, you're right. I gotta stop moving my right arm. Gotta just like put it under my leg or something to remind me to keep it straight. You know, maybe I do need one of those braces that goes on your elbow. My mom said that she used to have one of those, but she can't find it, so can't use it if it's not there. Hmm. Um, was Healer that controversial? I mean, have you seen the anime? That's all I gotta say. Do you have a group we can join? No, I ain't got any groups. Like I said, I'm not really good at talking with people. And, you know, it can really be like terrible to be put on the spot with a group of people who are expecting you to say something and you don't know what to say. You don't know how to bounce off of them. You're just like, I was listening to you, but then you stopped. Why did you stop? Why are you expecting me to say something? Oh man, it's just one of those things. I think Adam is kind of the same when we stream together, but at the same time, Italian. We always talk with our hands. Gotta sit on it. At the same time, Adam also has this thing where he will, without warning, pause in between his sentence. And he can go like a full 5 minutes before he finishes that sentence. It's something. I'll say that much. It's something. But I love him. I do. It's just, man, that ADHD, that can certainly distract. Hey DaNnphann, I'm new to your channel, but I really love your content, especially your videos on the Disney princesses. Oh, thank you. I've made quite a few Disney videos, I believe. Yes. To be frank about my stance, I loved Walt Disney. I like the older Disney stuff, and I don't like what the company has become over time. Sorry, I thought my chair was caught on a wire, but as it turns out, it was just stuck. As it do. Yep. Guess that's why you didn't make more of these for a while. Are we having separate conversations? I can never tell. Sometimes I can tell because they use the @ to show who they're talking to or who they're responding to. But sometimes in the chat they just talk and I can't really tell where the conversation is going. Thanks for the $2. Stone Clean Soap, discount code DaNnphann. Of course, at stonecleansoap.com. You guys know the story behind that? I guess I haven't really been able to like talk to you about what's up with all the Stone Clean Soap ads since I haven't been live streaming. But yeah, that's definitely funny. You should totally always go to stonecleansoap.com, discount code DaNnphann. That's how you do it. I personally would live on stonecleansoap.com, discount code DaNnphann all day long. I can't even say it. I'm just so tongue-tied. Who's your favorite Disney princess? Ooh, that's a toughie because there's so many good ones. Are we using the literal term Disney princess, or are we just doing Disney female characters? Because some people consider all Disney female characters just Disney princesses. I'd probably say Ariel though. She's pretty cool. That is if we're going based on actual princesses. Mark Hamill is best Disney princess, of course. Yeah, that's how we go. All right, we're gonna stay on here for about 10 more minutes, but are there any other topics that we should be discussing at this point? Anything else happen? I'll look on my YouTube feed. Let me see what the other peeps are talking about. Oh, there's my stream. Hi. All right. Well, a lot of people are talking about the Gina thing. I understand why. Granted, that was a big thing to blow up, and there's a lot of news regarding it that keeps coming out every 2 seconds. Like I said, Clownfish TV talking about how Steam is banning more anime waifus. Gotta stop doing that. How am I going to play my porn games if you keep on banning them, Steam? This is getting out of control, honestly. But yeah, it's not too much going down. Joss Whedon. What's going on with Joss Whedon? People just don't like him. Powerpuff Girls live action is a greenlit pilot episode now. I can't wait till Powerpuff Girls trailer comes out. I swear that I'm so tempted to actually make a review of every single episode of that terrible Powerpuff Girls show. But I tell you what, whenever I make reviews of terrible shows, there are a lot of crazy people who will definitely not only defend those shows, but they will get nasty. So this is one of the reasons why I tried not to do those types of videos anymore. But I'm pretty tempted to do those types of videos with the Powerpuff Girls live action. That is, if I'm not crying throughout them, because oof, Riverdale Powerpuff Girls. That's gonna be something. Crazy people on the internet. They're hard to deal with. They are. They even if you don't have the actual problem of them finding out where you live or doxing you or anything like that, they still do some damage on the psyche. They still bum you out. But yeah, we can relate to fans coming after the comment section. Yeah, comment section. That's why a lot of YouTubers do not read the comment section. I hardly read the comment section. I know I've said that before. Some people get mad that I don't read the comment section, but it's also you don't know. You don't know how bad it gets there. I have to keep my mental health in line. Sometimes you just need to take a break. I see the newer comments. I read the newer comments usually. It's the first 30 minutes of a video being uploaded. I'll check out the comments, and then after that, I'm just no more. I'm done. I've gotten the impression. Because at least when you're reading the newer comments, it's people that are subscribed to you that are commenting, and not some random crazy person who happened upon your video and is very upset. Women that have their own opinions often come under attack. It's true. I mean, people in general. People have a different opinion than somebody else, some random person. They just go off the rails. And it's so much easier to act like a psycho online because, there's kind of just this idea of unpersoning someone once you see them on a screen rather than in person. You know what I mean? Because you see someone on a video and you don't really think of them as someone standing in front of you, someone who can talk back to you, someone who will get upset in front of you or cry or tell on you, if we're talking about children, of course. So when you comment with full security that you will not have any real backlash for your actions. And I think that's why people really just go off the rails in the comments section. They'll say the most disgusting things under some anonymous account. And, it doesn't matter. You can't really talk back to them. if you do, they'll keep commenting, you know. So it's just one of those things. Sometimes they want you to comment back also because they want to just take out their anger on you. Whatever shit, personal shit that they're going through, they just want to take out their anger on somebody, so they just let loose. But whatever. It's none of my business. I'm not their mother. I'm not their therapist. I really don't have any obligation to take care of them. So I mostly just ignore them. And eventually, I assume they grow up and maybe at some point they regain their senses. I certainly was crazy online at one point, and I matured. Woo! But yeah, I've definitely done the same shit where I just freak out on someone online because they said something bad about something that I liked. And I mean, the problem back then was I was a kid, and I don't know how many of these people are kids, but you know, some adults can definitely act like children, and they encourage children to further act like children even when they grow up. Did you say you were Italian? Oh, I'm doing it with my hands again, aren't I? Yeah, I'm part Sicilian. It's, you know, I don't know what my percentages are, but I do know my backstory as far as where in Europe I came from. Anyway. All right, we got 4, maybe 3-ish more minutes. 3 minutes and like 10 seconds. So, any questions, comments, concerns, complaints? Any requests for videos that I should be uploading? I do have a little list that I keep in my room of like video ideas. And when I run out of video ideas, I try to do one from the list. But sometimes I'm just not motivated to do one from the list because they require extra editing to do successfully. Do you plan on doing drawing tutorials? Well, I'm not really that good at drawing. I mean, I really don't feel like I'm good enough to do tutorials. I feel like you should go to a professional, especially someone who doesn't have a ruined arm. Never go in against Sicilian. You spelled it wrong. As an inspiring animator, aspiring animator, I gotta ask, when did you start doing art? I mean, full-time or in general? Because I think a lot of us technically started when we were kids, but we didn't focus on it until much later in our lives. When I was focusing more on art, before I would just like write stories, at some point I started actually turning stories into comics, and that was more so when I was in middle school. No, it might have been. All right, so I technically did it when I was in middle school. I stopped for some time, started doing it again in like later high school, and now here I am, and I'm not much better. I mean, I am better, but if I had started earlier, then I probably would be even better, because experience is just how you get better. It's just fact. These are facts. The longer you practice, the better you will be. But you also have to practice smart, which is a whole other thing. Man. I missed, where's the super chat? Oh, here it is. Thank you for the $4.99. Have you read the webcomic I Want to Be Normal? No, I have not. I heard of a similar titled webcomic that everyone talks about, but I don't think that's the one that you're talking about. And I also didn't read that much of that. So I'm going to just place my answer in as no. Final answer. Commentary on Ogirl? Maybe. I want to do a few different things. I want to get my ending for this channel reanimated, and I also want to get the ending for the Burning Star channel reanimated, and I have vague ideas of what I'm going to do there. But I would want to do some storyboards for that, so I could have something to give someone to animate, or just animate myself, depending on my arm. I should probably give it to someone else to animate, but either way, I want to do storyboards, so I have to make time for that. It's just how it goes. It's just how it be. All right. Have you ever read the webcomic Tales Gets Trolled? No. Hey DaNnphann, I was curious on your opinion on the current state of comics, as I feel the only worthwhile comics now are Hulk, Venom, and Daredevil. Could you recommend any current indie comics? Well, I have certainly been reading a lot of indie comics, and I have a few in the comic review section. I got a playlist there. Obviously, there's a lot of manga I've been reviewing lately, and I've been having fun reviewing that manga. But no, there's also, it depends like what you're looking for. I assume you're looking for more superhero stuff, since you just like listed out a bunch of vigilante superhero stuff. But I mean, yeah, there's a ton of indie stuff out there. There is. And even if you aren't looking at Image or the more popular indie publishers, you can find people who are self-publishing. Hashtag comic, hashtag superhero somewhere on Twitter minds. I'm sure you'll find something at least. I don't know if it'll be stuff that you'll be looking for necessarily. A lot of stuff I've been reading haven't been superhero stuff. A lot of it has been mostly cartoony stuff that I, considered fun to read. And obviously the manga has been mostly romance and slice of life. There was one superhero-ish parody comic I was going to read, but I have not read it yet. And yeah, what software to use to animate? I just animate on clip art. I don't use the animation thing in clip art. I want to make that clear. I just draw the frames in clip art and put it into iMovie. It's a very redneck way of animating. Would not recommend. But I have tried open source animation softwares, and they just don't seem to work very well. So I've given up on them. I'm just going to straight up do the frames one by one and put them into iMovie. That is the plan. That's how I do it now. Oh, don't even get me started on Gorilla Glue, girl. That's ridiculous. Anyway, we are going to end the live stream now. Thank you guys for watching, genuinely. It's, I know I wasn't super energized for this one. I had a lot of moments where I was pausing and losing my train of thoughts, as I do. But I am glad that I got to stream and kind of talk to you about what's been going on behind the scenes, kind of talk to you in general, because, I don't make that many update videos per se where I actually talk about stuff I'm working on. And I want to make sure that you understand that I swear I'm not just lazy. I am trying to work on stuff. It's just a little bit tough to get stuff done. Obviously, this weekend, it's the Valentine's Day weekend, so I do have some social obligations. But hopefully, pretty soon, I'll be uploading at a more normal schedule, so you guys won't have to roll the dice whether or not DaNnphann will upload. But yeah, what I consider normal would be like 5 days a week, and keep the weekends to myself, maybe 4 days a week, and then a stream, which I consider to be a little bit easier. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. new videos next week. I don't know when I'll be back home, but new videos next week. I'll figure something out. We'll get this shit done, guys. We got this. All right, have a good night, everyone. I'm gonna go do heating pad on my arm therapy now. So I'll see you next time. Bye.